It's happening again for Bitcoin, and the final wave is about to get initiated here, and that's exactly what we need to discuss within today's update video, because I do have a lot of charts and information which are pointing to us that the next final Bitcoin wave is about to get started, and this will also be extremely bullish for both Ethereum and altcoins. So let's talk about that within today's update video. But first of all, make sure to subscribe to the channel and watch and like my latest YouTube video. That would be highly appreciated. And then we can dive into the most important content. Since it's basically happening all over again for Bitcoin. The 2024 consolidation is exactly laying out where Bitcoin is about to move next year. The consolidation is looking very similar, and this liquidity grab is exactly playing out once again, just like we saw in 2024. And I have been warning about exactly that liquidity grab, basically the bear trap, in all my previous YouTube videos, so make sure to check out those videos too if you do want to know everything about the bear trap. Because what happened for Bitcoin here is looking very similar. We of course pushed to new all-time highs. A lot of selling pressure was hitting the market there, where then we fell back down. The ultimate liquidity grab got completed here, and now we are bouncing back up, trading in this slight consolidation zone, from where I do expect a new major breakout to the top side, just like what happened in 2024 here. The consolidation is looking very similar. So ultimately, I do think this will be that final Bitcoin wave. And also the short-term charts are pointing to us that yes, a new big Bitcoin move is coiling up here. Currently we are still trading within this consolidation zone basically, and I do think once Bitcoin breaks out of this consolidation zone, yes, a next big move higher is next here. Bitcoin has been breaking out of the symmetrical triangle here, which is already a bullish signal, but now Bitcoin needs to break through this consolidation zone to be making new all-time highs once again. But there is still a major trap in the market which we need to discuss here, and that is this Bitcoin CME gap, because Bitcoin has been slowly grinding up over the weekend here, and normally Bitcoin falls down back to the CME gap, and this usually always happens at the beginning of next week. So I'm expecting once again that Bitcoin will be filling up the CME gap back to $104,000 from where we can see a new major move higher, because currently yes, Bitcoin is already showing the strength that it wants to move higher. So just fill up the CME gap and then make a big bounce to the upside. That's what I'm expecting for next week here. So next week is definitely going to be big, because that Bitcoin bounce we are about to see will be confirming the breakout out of this falling wedge, and that is ultimately very bullish, because a falling wedge pattern like this could definitely result in a new major move for Bitcoin. So yeah, all the charts are looking quite bullish here. Once we compare it with the 2024 scenario, there are so much similarities currently. Because if we compare it to 2024 here, before that major breakout to the top side, we can see the creation of the dead cross shortly after the golden cross here. A very similar consolidation like we are currently seeing for Bitcoin, and that consolidation is taking place slightly under the previous all-time high, and also that is exactly happening once again. So it's still looking very good in my opinion. I do think we are about to see a major breakout, and that breakout will ultimately be getting started once we break through this support line with some volume support. So I'm definitely quite excited about that Bitcoin price action for next week. And I do think this next major Bitcoin move to the top side will be the final wave, the final move for Bitcoin. And normally this always happens during and shortly after the summer of the last year of the bull cycle. So everything is exactly playing out just like expected. History is exactly repeating once again. So I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin here, and I definitely don't think the top is in yet. We are indeed going to see that last major move, because still 0 out of 30 peak bull market indicators are flashing here. And yes, it's definitely going to be a very big week, because next week we are about to see the US and China in-person trade negotiations. On Wednesday, the US CPI inflation, and on Thursday, the US PPI inflation. So it's definitely going to be a super interesting week there. And then I want to shortly discuss the ETF flows, because of course we saw a new week of ETF flows, and the biggest trend I'm still seeing there is that the Bitcoin ETF saw some major outflows last week. The Ethereum ETF was only showing inflows. So I'm seeing a little bit of a trend shift in the market here, and that is indeed making me very bullish on Ethereum. BlackRock accumulated almost 500 million US dollars worth of Ethereum in the last 9 days. So there's definitely a trend shift ongoing, which we need to discuss now. But first of all, make sure if you want to be trading Bitcoin altcoins yourself, you're using Blowfin. I've linked this platform under all my YouTube videos below, so make sure to check out the descriptions if you are getting interested in trading Bitcoin and altcoins yourself here. Then let's dive into the Ethereum price action, because that's actually making me very excited here. Ethereum is still trading within this range, which is still looking very bullish. We fought some great support at the downside of the range, and currently Ethereum is just consolidating here, and I'm still expecting a major breakout for Ethereum, because the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart is looking very bullish. We are exactly bouncing off the 2019-2021 lows here, so that is the first indicator that yes, this is a major Ethereum trend shift here. But if we zoom in a little bit on that Ethereum versus Bitcoin price action, we are consolidating within a perfect symmetrical triangle here, and this is one of the most bullish patterns you can be forming. So ultimately I do think Ethereum versus Bitcoin is about to see a major breakout once again. And yeah, the Ethereum on-chain activity also keeps increasing, over 16% more active users within only this week. So ultimately this is indicating to us that yes, the Ethereum ecosystem is gaining a lot of strength lately, and that is of course making me very bullish too. And then let's take a look into altcoins, because yes, altcoins are in that last phase of the cycle, and normally that's the moment where altcoins are about to go the most parabolic, where we see the most exponential price action, and I don't think this time will be any different. I think once again altcoins are about to take off in the last phase of the cycle here, so that's why I'm definitely getting interested in those altcoins within the Ethereum ecosystem, because we can clearly see it's coiling up here. So if you guys do want me to make a dedicated video about the altcoins I'm currently eyeing in the Ethereum ecosystem, just let me know in the comments. And from there guys, that was it for today's update video, and I will see you guys within the next update video tomorrow.